There is a news flying around on social media now that President Tinubu may release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before 2027 general election.
Okay, my wonderful people, viewers and subscribers, another update don't drop. That's as like I always promise. We are doing our research, going deeper and deeper and deeper to get things that may interest you. Listen and listen good. My duty here is to react to videos when necessary and to bring it to your notice. I disseminate information from here to you, to everyone close to you. So that is our job, our duty here. So your duty is whenever you see all this kind of message, whether you have watched it before, if you don't watch it, then pass it to another person. That is how the message has been passed. And I can tell you for free of charge that all these things we are doing, both online and offline, it is yielding results. In a high places, in a places where we say, even Nigerian government, when they enter there and look left, right, and center, before they look to number 50 person, they will see a Biafran representative in that gathering. It is. That's a result of what we are doing here. And you think we are wasting time here, my brother. We are not wasting time. So please, I would like you to just humble yourself. Be coming down to listen to this message. Conditions for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release. Under Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they want to use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to play a gamble for 2027 election. Because how on earth it is only in Southeast they are having a city boys movement? Even in Lagos, I mean, even in Yoruba land, nothing like city boys movement. In Hausa land, nothing like city boys movement. It's only in Biafra land. All these things are the indices to tell you that Bola Ahmed Tinubu have already lost the election from the north. But now he want to get the support of the east. Look at the stampede that happened in Imo State simply because people are rushing to collect a relief material from the so-called city boys movement of Ovoko Bana. There is casualties that have been recorded in Imo State yesterday. If Napito Obi did that kind of a thing now, I can tell you for now, the government will institute a panel that will look into it and say, oh, he didn't manage the gathering well. That was why people stampeded and died. Look at what is happening. I made it very clear that this year, 2026 down to 2027, until after election, a lot of gifts is going to fly in. Imagine sharing deep freezer to all our women in Owerri, to share deep freezer to them in support of them, but they cannot give them light. Are they going to use? Is their pekus are they going to use to power that deep freezer to work? And the people that are giving it are even smiling, shining teeth like a goat that they are taking to slaughterhouse. They give you all these petty things. And at the end of the day, you sell up the future of your children, and you're shining in teeth. Somebody who could not give you light. Everybody have resorted to solar now, and they are giving you deep freezer. You are shining teeth. I beg, let us continue listening to this word from the Excellent Media House, please. Don't forget the Excellent Media House. That is where this information is coming from. So let's go there.
I use the word may because it's not certain yet. Now, this news has generated a lot of reactions online, and so many people are saying a whole lot of things. But wait, I want to take us back a bit so that we know where we started and how we get to this place. So please, I want to beg you to stay with me in this video. Now, if you remember that late last year, 2025, some Igbo monarchs sent a very strong message to President Tinubu, telling him that he should note that if he did not release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that he's not going to get any vote in the Southeast. I can remember vividly how they made that statement. They said, you can't hold him and expect to get vote in the Southeast. That was the way they said it. In other words, that they are, in support of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or they are calling for President Tinubu to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before he can, beat his chest and say, okay, I'm going to get vote in the Southeast. Now, aside from them, if you also remember that this our brother, Pascal Okechukwu, whom we popularly know as Kubana Chief Priest, posted something on his X handle just late last year in the month of November. He said that if Tinubu did not release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that he is not going to get up to 10,000 votes in the southeast. I hope you remember that. He posted this in the month of November 2025. Now, things has changed. Oh yes. If you remember, just in the month of February, yes, just about 2 months ago, this our brother too posted something again that got a lot of people talking. He said that we need to support Tinubu so that he will release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. As we can see from this write-up, he says, support Tinubu, Nnamdi Kanu will be freed, Cubana chief priest. So the question now is it to support Tinubu before he release Kanu, or let him release Kanu before he gets votes in the southeast? This is very, very tactical. So please, I want to beg you to stay with me. Now, I want to start by asking, how did we get to this point in Nigeria that we need to support a political party to get justice? In this case, the ruling party. Please note that this analysis is not a political analysis. I'm not calling for support of APC or PDP or anybody, and I'm not trying to bring anybody down. It is not a political analysis. So I'm only telling you the way it is. You can support anybody you want, you can vote anybody you want, but I'm just telling you the way it is. But then, how did we get to this point in Nigeria that we need to support a political party so that we get justice in Nigeria? Everybody knows that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has done nothing wrong, yet they hold him down. And that is why everybody was shouting then, oh, it is a political solution. Let them go for political solution. And now, the news we are hearing is that, okay, let's support Tinubu so that he will release him. So, supporting a political party guarantees you justice in Nigeria. How did we get to this place? Now, the second one is this. Somebody telling us to support Tinubu before he released Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. On what guarantee, on what assurance? You know, there is this popular saying in Igbo that Nankwa Nde politicians in the Oh yes, you know that popular saying that when a man and woman wants to do mommy and daddy on bed, and then the man will start to promise the woman heaven and earth. Those promises are unrealistic. They are just a futuristic promises. He can't fulfill most of those promises. But then he has to promise the woman those. He has to make those promises so that he can get what he wants. And that is exactly what we are seeing in Nigeria. In Nigerian politics, I'm not talking only about Tinubu now, please note that. In Nigerian politics, they promise us heaven and earth just to get what they want. And when they get what they want, come on, they are off. And that is why I see some people also calling for support of Peter Obi, saying, oh, if you support Peter Obi, he's going to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And I laugh. On what guarantee, on what assurance do you have that Peter Obi is going to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? But then, the major question is, on what ground do we have, or how have we gotten to this point that you need to support somebody or support a political party to get justice in Nigeria? Now, I'm going to allow you to listen to a very good analysis that was made about this. But then my question in this video is this: to support Tinubu to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or let him release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before we support him? Which one do you prefer? If you know, you know. Please, I beg you to spend a little time and listen to this analysis I want to play for you now. Then you do well to drop your comment in the comment section. Do not forget, if this is your first time coming across my video on my channel, please do well to subscribe, because on this channel I get you information of everything that is happening. Of course, as I speak to you now, there are so many updates I want to pass down to you, right? So please just subscribe and turn on your notification button. But then, just listen to this analysis.
Make it a habit. 7 minutes of time.
Tinubu might try to use this Nnamdi Kanu case, to play a political game leading up to the election, which might be his final strategy leading up to the elections. It's not based on facts, it's an opinion. Some people have even said, hopefully, that maybe we release him close to the election. Because when you look at it, see, in as much as we condemn the methods at which it was done, let us not forget the fact that there is marginalization against the Igbos, yes, against other ethnic groups in this country, but there's high marginalization against the Igbos. I mean, take for instance, I think we made this argument when we were there. Since we've returned to democracy, Why can't an Igbo man become president? Yoruba man, Hausa man, Ijaw man has become president. Why can't an Igbo man become president? At least in this country, after the Civil War, there was a consensus of some sort by the two political parties. And Igbo men were both running mates in the 79 elections. Why can't we go one step further? That's just the question. I know some people argue and say, oh, competence should not be based on zoning and all of that. I get the argument. But are you telling me that there is no Igbo man that is competent enough to be president?
All right.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a consensus that the reason why we had two Yoruba men on the ballots in 1998-1999 elections was a way to compensate the Yoruba people for what had happened to MKO Abiola. Can we also be intentional? Because I feel to a large extent, even if it's just one term or two terms, an Igbo person, becomes president in this country. And I must have to add, power is not served a la carte. The person must work for it. Mm-hmm. It will shift a lot of the narrative. I mean, when people say, oh, we have been marginalized and all of that, we cannot say, an Igbo man has become president now. But as it is today, to make that argument is not buoyant enough. Mm-hmm. And these are part of the things Nnamdi Kanu is talking about and the agitation. At some point, it was Ralph Wazirike. Mm-hmm. That marginalization argument still gains traction. Today is Nnamdi Kanu. Tomorrow, another person can pick it up from that region.
All right.
So let's just all be careful.
It's only fair.
Let's see how we can do this politically.
So you're up for a political solution?
It's a political solution.
Well,
since the days of Buhari, they went to meet Buhari. It was Ricky Amici and other people went to meet Buhari then. Some Igbo leaders. I don't know why that conversation never sailed through.
All right. I'm sure that we're not going to hear the end of this Nnamdi Kanu protest and the quest and the call for him to be released. And of course, we'll bring the story up on Arise News. Now to a troubling story generating outrage online. Students of Kaduna Polytechnic were reportedly barred from entering their campus on Wednesday morning over a dress code enforcement, with security personnel allegedly citing the ongoing Ramadan fasting period as justification for demanding students cover their bodies more fully. Videos circulating on social media show frustrated students, many of them female, gathered at the school gate, arguing that their outfits were not indecent and questioning the practicality of wearing additional layers in the scorching heat. Let's take a look.
I just came to Agorimina. I am coming from school. I have my school ID. This is what I'm wearing. This is what I'm wearing. I am fully covered. My trousers reach ground. There is nothing wrong with what I'm wearing. Tell me why I came here now. And the security already cleared me. Security already cleared me to enter inside the school. Only for me to enter, and one man in particular.
Okay, my people, let me not proceed because every other videos or rather every other clip or voice you are going to hear from within is just about Nigeria. So let us just cut the crap. The main message has been preached, and I'm very sure most of us here grabbed the point. And the point there is that the conditions for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release, that is what we are discussing. That Tinubu want to play a bet to use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for his own gain, even after using him in the first election. The argument, if you talk in the first election now, is that they will ask you whether Igbos vote for him, but he won the election. That is the agreement, according to them, allegedly, that Nnamdi Kanu's brother signed with Sheyi Tinubu when he visited Abia State. That yes, if my father won this election, I'll make sure that he releases Nnamdi Kanu. But he didn't keep to the word. So what makes you think that if Tinubu used Mazi Nnamdi Kanu influence now to get to the top again, that he will listen to you? Listen to me and listen good, my brother. They hate you. They don't like you. They can only associate with those who are ready to enslave you, which is what we are seeing now, the so-called City Gates movement, who came out and they saw the existence of the Igbo, that they lack knowledge. A boy of 50 years insulting elders, and you tell me he will last long. Anyway, let me not talk now, because when I talk now, they'll say you get bad mouth. I don't get bad mouth. I say things the way they are, without no compromise, and that is me. Anyway, there's no much time for you to read the comments. Please, let us just end it here. Have a nice day. I'm a regular control to bless us. Make sure that this message goes viral. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on all our social media handles. And as you do that, may God Almighty bless us all. Happy New Day. Happy Sunday. Happy New Week. It shall be well with all of us.